Yo, what's good? I'm trying to make my pitch for the Walking Dead video game. I know there's been like quite a few different ones made by different developers and everything, and nobody has hit the mark yet. Nobody. I mean, they've come out with a few other type of zombie apocalypse type games, and they've been like pretty good, but nobody's had hit it on the head yet, hit the nail on the head just yet. I mean, the new World War Z, it was, pretty decent. I played it. It's a zombie horde shooter type deal, team multiplayer and all that good stuff. I mean, and it's fun. It's fun, but for the hardcore Walking Dead fans, we need something a little bit more than just a horde of sprinting zombies. Excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. We need more than just a horde of sprinting zombies. The Walking Dead alone is a survivor type game, so you need to have some of a thought process to actually playing the game, to what you actually want to do and so forth. The game days gone. I thought that's pretty good, but it's really drawn out. It gives you more of a sense of a Red Dead Redemption type of thing going on, with the story play and backstory and all that stuff. I mean, and that's all good, but you got to understand with the Walking Dead having so 9-10 seasons already in, and especially people who haven't read the comic and just been focused on the show, it's more or less like, don't give me something that I already know about, and give me another story. I just want what I know. I want The Walking Dead, so they've had the mobile games. I mean, even the mobile games have come pretty close. They've come up the Walking Dead, the Telltale Walking Dead, which I thought was just strictly based for the comic fans, and then you had the Walking Dead with just Daryl for the most part. I forget what No Man's Survival or whatever. I don't know, but it's nothing has peaked and popped to where it's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the game. What I was thinking, and what I haven't seen yet, is if they paired the actual, like, the console PC game type with the mobile idea, also, all in one, but turn the game into the TV show. Pretty much it would be called mobile game. The Walking Dead, the TV show, and it would play through seasons of the TV show, start out just exactly how the show started out, and go from there, and being that there's so many seasons in right now, the game can be quite vast, like very, very vast. And then, if the show was to go on and keep going on, if there's another season, then that's an update, as the seasons go, just like how the mobile game does for the I think the comic version does that. It goes where you can download this another season or whatever, but you can either, and it won't be like a pay to play type download, it'll be a free update, where as the season starts. And of course, it'll be like kind of like playing after you've watched the season or watched the show, the episode itself, or if you wanted to buy the entire season, or if you wanted to, download the entire season. Say like, okay, season 11 starts, and that's going to be the upcoming update. Well, season 11 hasn't started yet. So it's like, okay, you know, once it starts, you watch or whatever, you watch a couple episodes and then the update hits. And, you know, you can do it like that. Or if you want the entire season, that's where your purchase option would come in. Because I don't know anybody who would want to kill herself and just, you know, kind of for the entire season, you know, you just want to do it on the game. But I just think that would be a whole lot better, and it would play out exactly like the TV show. It would play out as if I mean, you would have different, you can make different decisions, but if, you know, just if you hadn't watched the show, if you know, if you hadn't watched the show, but it would actually do good for the show also, because it would kind of prompt people to go and watch the show or go back to certain seasons just to watch certain things and see how certain things played out to make their gameplay a little bit more better, you know, or more accomplished. If say like in the beginning, you know, okay, in the beginning when Rick wakes up out of the bed or whatever like that and goes through or whatever, yeah, you know, and it'll be open world, you know, I mean, where you can kind of, you know, go off the beaten path a little bit, but it wouldn't be a whole lot of diversity as far as, you know, you changing the story. It'll just be, you know, open world. You know, if he didn't want to go straight to Morgan's house, if you didn't want to just go venture straight to Morgan's house, just kind of pick up some more supplies or whatever, even though he didn't have anything going to Morgan's house. But, you know, that's what the developers is for. They would think of something, you know, but don't change the show, period. Don't change the show. If there's very minute changes, let's just say when he leaves the hospital and goes to makes his way to Morgan's house, and or makes his way to his house, and before he gets hit upside the head because of the walker that's come, he sees the walker and gets hit upside the head by Morgan's son. You know, that happens. All of that happens from what, because that's his first interaction with other people. There's no change whatsoever. You play through that. You play through from him getting the house, leaving the house, because he has no weapons whatsoever. So, you know, he didn't kill anything except for the beginning of the show where you kill a little girl, and that was, but, you know, but it plays out exactly like that. They can start the game as where he's actually starting from in the hospital, or start the game from how they did. Whoa, the car backing up. Almost hit me. But anyway, start the game up from the flashback that they had in the beginning with him and Shane stopping the guys and how he got into the hospital. I think that would be good, just as like a mini movie or like cutscene or whatever. But and then you would go to the, you know, go try to make your way. It's, you know, to tell you make your way to your house. You go to your house, and that's when you get busted upside the head, and that's where pretty much now all your interactions start with Morgan's son, you know, the zombies, his wife, and all that stuff like that. There's a part where Morgan has to take a shot at the wife, you know, and this kind of plays into the story. If you've watched the show, plays into the story over time, so you can make that decision, you know, whether to take that shot or not. If anybody that knows that this, and mind you, if anybody hasn't watched the show right now, this is a spoiler alert. Morgan didn't take the shot in the show, but if you took the shot in the game, then guess what? Down the line, you saved the son, because the son was actually killed by the mother eventually, you know, after a while when him and Rick split up. So you know, and it would kind of play into the story like that. I just think that a game that is just like the show, because the show has intrigued so many people, has created so many fans, that even people who don't play video games would play this game. You know, it doesn't have to be high impactive action. It's just more, it would be a very very, 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 like, not complicated, but thought-driven game that would make you think. Like, there's stuff in the show that you would be like, I would not do that. I would never have done that, But these are like little changes that can be altered, even throughout time. You don't want to take away from the show. And that's what these game developers are for, just the thought process behind this. And I wouldn't put nobody on that project but straight Walking Dead TV show fans. Just like that. That is just my thought process. I mean, there's so much I can say about this that I think that would make the perfect Walking Dead game, is to just base it strictly off the show. Let's get these copyrights and pay these actors, and because everybody's trying to bypass the extra that's needed to make these games right. I mean, hell, you can even have impersonators or whatever. I mean, but just that's where it gets complicated, because if you're trying to go straight from the show, then of course you have to get some of the actors permission to use not just them, but their personalities, their faces, and so on. So I really think that they will all be down and be into actually doing this. And it's like they don't have to do any extra work, except for maybe like the parts in the game where there could be a different decision made, as far as, because there's a lot of parts in the show where it only makes sense to make this decision. But there's parts in the show, there's a lot of different things in the show. If you watch the Talking Dead recap of the show, that a lot of people say, well, I wouldn't have done this, I would have killed this person, I wouldn't have let this person live, and so on and so on. But there's not a whole lot that would change the story, because a lot of these people that have died so far in the show, in the earlier seasons, earlier episodes, a lot of their deal wouldn't have been, I mean, there's just so much. There's so much, and it's almost like they're trying to take the easy route with this whole zombie apocalypse type game thing. And I figure they did it with World War Z, the movie. Then I don't see why they can't do it with The Walking Dead, the TV show. Not just a spin-off of just the Walking Dead idea, with a character here or two or whatever, mobile game apps that are basically RPG or role play. Well, same thing, but they're whack. They're boring. People hang on the limb for the next episode of The Walking Dead. People hang on the limb for the next mid-season premiere for The Walking Dead. He talking about months ahead, trying to wait from like February to October. Hang on just hang on the limb, just awaiting. Nobody does that for games anymore, like really, not really. Maybe it's a couple of shooters, but I won't even get into like weapons and all this other stuff. That's not really important. It's just keeping genuine to the show. The show is what intrigues people. There wasn't a game at first. There was the comic first, and then there was a TV show. The comics were, I haven't read the comics just because I've been trying to just keep myself towards the TV show. That way I don't ruin nothing. I don't want to speculate on anything. But the TV show, it's the #1 TV show in America right now. The #1. And with the seasons to come, with a lot of things that have happened within the last season alone, it may start to, but this would be the time to kind of bring something like that out if there isn't one already in development. And that's just my take on the whole thing. Yo, peace.